listening to Rocket Shop Radio Hour at Big Heavy World. I'm your host, Abby BK, and with us in the studio today, we have Emma Cook.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Good. Welcome back to the space.
I know. Thank you.
We were talking before we were on air about how Emma was here last in 2018.
Yes, a lifetime ago.
At Arts Riot.
Yeah.
For a live Rocket Shop performance.
Yeah.
And we were doing that way back when.
Yeah, with Iva May and with my backing band at the time, Questionable Company.
Yeah. So fun. So take us through what you've been up to since then. So now I know you're kind of doing more solo performances as well. But yeah.
Well, that's a really long time span.
Yes, I know. Condensed version,
like year over year. In 2019, that project ended that I performed with at Rocket Shop. And then in 2020, there was a global pandemic.
Yep.
And then in 2021, we were all just still in that.
Surviving.
In 2022, I had a baby. In 2023, I started this record that's coming out this summer. 2024, a lot of studio time, and here we are, 2025.
That was an amazing recap.
Thank you so much. Those are the real highlights.
Yeah, totally. Very condensed format. I love it. So tell us a little bit more about the new project that you've been working on.
Yeah.
2 years in the making. Like what can people expect?
Well, it's titled Of the Morning, and it's a collection of songs that I wrote in like the 2021 to 2022 kind of time frame. It's come together in a really beautiful way, in that like when I started the project and met for the first time in July of 2023 with my producer, Katie Martucci, like my whole kind of like, approach to putting something like this together was just to find ease. And so just like finding people to work with along the way, that's just been my main priority. And so like everything's just come together in this a really, really nice way. And like all the people I've worked with, all the studios we've been like the 2 studios we've worked with, like all the artists and videographers, like everyone has just been so incredible. And like these things have just really kind of, come together as it, and then like unfolded in a really nice way.
Yeah, totally. Lots of moving parts. How do you how did you coordinate all of that?
I like literally am always like, it's like a cat hurting other cats. Yeah. So just like mostly is like, I mean, anyone who knows me knows I'm like pretty hard on myself. And so I feel like it's like, I mean, I want to say that there's been a lot of like positive affirmations, like I can do this, like we're doing this, but there's also been like a healthy, maybe unhealthy dose of like, you're so behind on this, like you got to reach out to this person, like you got to make this happen, like some like tough love in those moments. Cause yeah, it's like a really, it's really hard to like be like gathering all of that energy and like channeling it into this sort of project. I feel really grateful for a lot of the like musical connections I've made along the way. And like early on, just like working with Katie, we were connected. She just heard one of my songs and was like, I want to work with her. And I was like, had put it out into the world that I was looking for a producer. And so like another like little kind of moment of ease there. But yeah, it has been like really, it has been really affirming along the way to just like have the support of people. And I did a Kickstarter to fund like the final work on the album at the end of 2024. And that was a huge deal, but just, it was the project was funded. So that was like, just like one of those, like when you're kind of like, oh, like what's happening? And that everyone's like, you're doing it, we're going to give you money to do it. Like we believe in your music. We believe in this vision. Like that's just like so heartwarming and affirming and like can carry you, can like, carry you through a lot of those like harder moments when you're just alone.
Yeah.
Looking at spreadsheets.
Definitely. Lots of
Yeah.
moving parts.
Uh-huh.
So how did you like decide on the songs that you've landed on for the project? So some of them you said you wrote back in 2021. Like, was it hard to decide which ones to pursue and which ones maybe to leave behind?
Yeah, there were about I mean, I think that I brought like maybe like 12 or 15 to my first session with Katie, and we like went through all of them, played them all together, and then kind of like sat with that, and then kind of like after listen, and also like had been listening to the demos, and just kind of was like, this seems to be the songs that kind of fit together, just kind of thematically, and just like how I wrote them and when I wrote them. And yeah, so it was just kind of like distilling, just having some discernment around like what was feeling right together, and like, and yeah, just kind of moving forward in that way. But lots of like big themes on the album, especially because I wrote them around the time that I became a mom. So like a lot of like very introspective, reflective writing, a lot of, just like looking forward. A lot of like, there's a lot of, like musings on like climate change and like some like really big like themes of my own life that I think are also really relatable and just become like really top of mind as you just kind of think about where things are headed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you answered kind of one of my questions because I always like to kind of ask, like,
and I always just like love to, I just like talk.
like
I just am
any
a nervous talker,
themes?
so here we go.
No, you were like reading my mind. I was like, oh, any themes in this upcoming album? But you answered it.
Oh, cool.
So will you be playing songs from the new project tonight?
Yeah, I'll play a few songs from the project.
Awesome. Well, we would love to hear whatever you have for your first song.
Okay, cool.
So
I don't have them in any particular order.
Yeah.
I just have a list of like 8. So I was just like, oh, I'll just do some new ones. I have brought some, but since I was just speaking on the themes aspect, I'll play a song that's called 21st Century first. And this song is, maybe you can tell me what you think it's about afterward. But it is about one of the themes. It's kind of like, you can tell me which theme you think it is.
Will do.
If we could call in, that would be cool. Used to write love letters, little hopeful notes, toss them in the ocean, see what floats. Used to clear my mind on the shore. Now walking along, I'm worrying more, thinking about the future. It's a 21st century message in a bottle, left behind by a careless mind. 21st century message in a bottle. Hope they read it while we've still got time. All about intention these days. So many buzzwords flying around in my face, missing the meaning. They've been greenwashing everything. Hard to compete when convenience is king. Hard to explain. It's at the cost of everything. It's a 21st century message in a bottle, left behind by a careless mind. 21st century message in a bottle. Hope they read it while we've still got time. Still got time. We've still got time. you down. That's what they hope. You won't notice them. You'll forget to vote. You'll just keep on keeping up with the Joneses. And it's a 21st century message in a bottle, left behind by a careless mind. 21st century message in a bottle. Hope they read it while we still got time. Still got time. We've still got time. We've still got time.
21st century. I'm a cook. So I remember that you had played that one at your show not too long ago,
Yeah.
but are there any guesses in the room about what that song could be about? Turning it onto the crew in the room.
A lot of things, I feel like.
Yes.
Bob says it's
Say
about
more.
a lot of things.
It's a message we want to throw to ourselves somehow in our modern world.
Ooh.
Wow.
That somebody's going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that people
both
heard
now
that.
and in the future, kind of.
So a
Yeah.
message that we're trying to throw to ourselves in the future.
Yeah, our future selves. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to not forget these things. Kind of.
There you go. Good interpretation. Very nice.
Snaps for Bob. Great share. Great share.
I'm listening over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We're tuned in.
Hell
you
yeah.
know, not to make it like a class, but yeah,
Yeah.
what's your interpretation of the song? Why did you write it?
Well, I love that. I'll just say, I love that this is like, I'm starting to share these songs for the first time in public with the release of this record. And I love that these are going to become like songs for other people and that other people are getting to interpret these. And it just is like so cool. I think, yes, it is that. I wrote this song in a songwriting group and it was inspired actually. I just had a single image was the prompt. It was really, it's like, a songwriting community.
Wow.
And the prompt was just a plastic bottle on a beach. And that just really got me thinking about just like this idea of like left behind by a careless mind and like this throwaway culture, like how much like just like these like little things just add up in our world. And like, especially when we think about climate change, like, right, like it's hard to compete when convenience is king and it's hard to explain that it's at the cost of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool that it was just, you got inspiration from that one image. That's like really impressive. Tell me more about like the songwriting circle. Do you do that often? Is that something that like you find has helped with like finding inspiration?
Yeah, this was a was a container, so it was just like a 8-week session or 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was great. It was a great way to participate and like do some like idea generation and like I love a prompt. It's really fun to just like, think outside the box. A couple songs on the record are like from that time, like during that, like when I was writing for that group specifically. And it's like, there's like, we would get a prompt and then you have to like write a song within like 48 hours. So it was like a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
So I think that there's something about like that, like sense of urgency
Time
too.
limit, yeah.
Which I think like personally I benefit from when there is some sort of like timeline or deadline.
Yeah, interesting. I know everyone like has a different way that they like to work and write, so that's cool to know that that's how you flow and you write.
Yeah, that has been one way. Yeah.
So take everyone back to when you started music. So what's like your origin story? When did you start writing music and playing instruments? and like what got you into wanting to be a musician?
Yeah. Well, I come from a musical family. So my mom plays piano. We always had a piano in the house. And I started piano lessons when I was 7 years old. So coming up on 2 decades, 20 years of playing. I just had my 35th birthday. And um, yeah, and I was always singing and just like performing. I loved like dance and I loved to just sing. And my parents are like, my dad was also a musician, is also a musician. And like growing up, they would like always be playing music with their friends. Like it was a very musical community. I grew up going to music festivals like as a family. And I got my first guitar when I was 12 or 13. And I wrote my first song when I was 15.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, I was really fortunate. I went to a really small school and we had a really awesome music teacher, which is just like luck of the draw. And he had us do, he's a songwriter, Patrick Nemisto, and in our community where I grew up and in northern Michigan. And so he had us all do like a songwriting, like section in school where we wrote songs and performed them within our class, which was like a really pivotal experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously you've
However.
had like a lot of experience writing songs. How do you feel like you've kind of evolved as a writer, or also just like as a musician more generally? Like, do you feel like there's certain skills that you've really built throughout the years, or has like your style changed?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, always growing, always learning. I've really, in the last few years, like rededicated myself to my own practice and like started taking lessons again, after having not taken lessons for a while. And just like, I think there's always room. Like I've just come to this place where I'm just like, oh, like I'll never be there's like this like it's like a weird thing when you realize like you'll never be done. Like there's no finish line. And so I feel like that's like really freeing, because there's just like a lot of opportunity for just like growing and doing that. I mean, it can be kind of like, I don't know, like what you're trying to, depending on what you're trying to get out of it. But I'm just trying to like write songs that are meaningful for me and might resonate with other people. And yeah, I take a lot of inspiration from other songwriters, like listening to other people and just, kind of also just like thinking about the craft of songwriting has been really interesting in like the last, I mean, since I became self-employed as a musician in 2018. That was another big thing. I should have
Oh
said
wow,
that in my
yeah, that's
recap.
huge.
Yeah, so that was what I did in 2018. And so like since then, just like dedicating myself to like understanding some of the like mechanics of songwriting, which has been really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So who are like some of your biggest musical inspirations, like of the current, like of what you're listening to currently, but also maybe like what
Yeah.
you've listened to forever?
Yeah. I mean, there are so many, of course. I'm thinking of a few that I was like listening to recently. Like I'm a huge John Batiste fan. I was painting my kitchen and we just like listened to that We Are album from like 2018. That was like or 2021, I think. I was listening to that a lot when I was writing this record. Not like that they sound anything alike.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the Wood Brothers are a huge inspiration to me in their songwriting and musicality. They're just like incredible musicians all around and really beautiful like storytellers, and how they like put a song together is just like so amazing. And growing up, I was just listening to a lot of like, I was listening to a lot of like Carole King and Alicia Keys and Aretha Franklin. And like, I grew up in Michigan and there's like an incredible folk and roots scene. So I also was like, at 12, like, 20 feet from Leo Kottke, like playing like incredible guitar. And so like, there are just like all these really, and like, listening to like a ton of like Motown growing up, like there's just been a ton of that kind of musical influence. I've been really lucky.
Yeah.
And then like my husband is like obsessed with like funk music. So it's great. We got the
Yeah.
whole picture from folk to
Yeah.
funk. It's like amazing. Yeah, it's great.
A mix of influences. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you can hear like tidbits of that in your sound. So that's kind of cool to
Yeah.
know that you like listening to a variety of sounds anyhow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we would love to hear your second song.
Okay.
So, what do you have?
Well, I'll do Spice Rack now.
Yay.
Okay. This is a song I call this my anti-capitalist love song. These are like I feel like this is Big Heavy World. I feel like these are like kind of heavy songs, but like also not. But yeah, Big Heavy World. It sure is. Maybe someday we'll be rich old bastards and buy that custom 64-count spice rack. Yeah, I bet we'd like that. Maybe someday when the loans are all paid, we'll buy that house up on the lake. Yeah, we'd like that. Maybe more than that spice rack. Oh, the day we finally upgrade, it'll all feel perfect. It'll never change. That's the life we're sold. I don't think I can live like that. So how about you and me? Keep it telling the truth to each other. Money won't buy the thing we're both really after. Might be we're going against the grain, slowing the whole thing down. But I like that way more than I'd like some spice rack. Well, I remember the day I finally owned my car. Been paying it down after so many hours of working hard. I like that, I'd like that spice rack. And what I done to earn $1 working job since I was 14, and just look at me now. My job is singing songs about spice rack. So how about you and me? Keep it telling the truth to each other. Money won't buy the thing we're both really after. Might be we're going against the grain, slowing the whole thing down. But I like that way more than I'd like some spice rack. Well, it changed the game the day you said to me they might have money, but they don't have a single thing we don't have. Right here between us. So I promise, babe, I'll never upgrade you. It'll never be perfect. So let's keep on changing. And will you just build me a spice rack? And how about you and me? Keep it telling the truth to each other. Money won't buy the thing we're both really after. I might be we're going against the grain, slowing this whole thing down. But I like that. Plus, he built me that spice rack.
Spice Rack by Emma Cook. I love that one. It was so memorable. I told Emma before, I was like, are you playing Spice Rack?
I was like, for you, Abby BK.
So I'm so curious, like, what was the inspiration behind that one? Like, what got you thinking about Spice Rack specifically?
Like, specifically a spice rack.
Yeah, you like specifically wanted one?
Yeah, I specifically wanted one. Yeah. And on my 30th birthday in quarantine in 2020, my husband built me a spice rack.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So you inspired it. Well, I'm glad you got that spice rack, girl.
I got that spice rack and got that song. So
Yeah,
2 for 2,
totally.
I would say. Yeah.
You're winning in life. So tell us a little bit more about how, like, what your songwriting process is and how music comes to you. So, like, When you're writing songs, like do tunes come to you first? Are you playing around on guitar? Like, what's kind of your process for starting out that process?
For me, inspiration comes at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a lot of it's a lot. It's rather mysterious. Like if you ever hear anyone talking about, yeah, just the creative. I mean, okay, I'll try to distill this because I could get kind of like woo woo about it
Oh,
in a
please
way.
get woo woo if you
I
want.
mean, I think it's really interesting to just think about like the creative energy and like the creative in our world and just like thinking about being open to that. And so there are like different times in my life where I've been like more open to receiving that creative energy, like for, one reason or another. And yeah, I think like currently my process typically has been that like a melody
Mm-hmm.
or a lyrical melody will come to me, and I make a quick note. Yeah, like a voice memo or something, or like I write it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of like stockpile those. And then there's like a day where I'm like, okay, let's go through and like see what's in here. Or sometimes something will be so compelling that like I need to go finish this song right
Mm-hmm.
now. And so there have been, songs like that over the years where I just have to like stop everything I'm doing and like find my instrument.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, typically it's like I kind of just like get all these little, I have like ditty ideas and then yeah, like either, like one of the songs on this record is called Into My Heart, and it's a love song.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this really random moment with like a friend and her son. And I was like, I miss you even when I'm with you. And something about that just like really stuck to me. And that's like the opening line on the bridge for Into My Heart. So like then I went and I was like playing that and then like trying to like figure out what that felt like. But the bridge is like, I miss you even when I'm with you. There's something inside telling me to hold on. And so like the first line was like that actual moment. I can like imagine Bethany and Emery, shout out. They might not even know this, but then like the whole song is not about that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that kind of like started it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really interesting. And so I know like in your personal life, you're also becoming a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
Really interesting that you're talking about like I'm all for the woo woo stuff personally. I
Yeah.
don't think anything's like woo woo,
It's
honestly.
not. I know. I feel like I need
but-
to find a different phrase.
Yes. But I mean, I think that's so true that like being tapped into something like bigger than ourselves is something that a lot of musicians experience and what they find inspiration from.
Yeah.
I guess kind of my follow-up question to that is like, have you found that your yoga practice has also like inspired some of that? I don't know, like, has it made you like more able to receive some of that inspiration?
That's a great question. And I think, yeah, you're spot on. And just like when you're songwriting, you do feel connected to something that's a little bit bigger and outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Within my yoga practice, I think, yes, I have like I have definitely benefited from like dedicating myself to that practice and like the spiritual benefits of like a really consistent yoga practice. And I think, yes, because of like the spaciousness it's created like within myself and kind of within my kind of understanding of like what presence is, has definitely led for like more opportunity to be present like at my instrument and songwriting and just thinking about the concept of time a little bit differently and thinking about how I'm spending time and like the presence of mind I have. Like we were talking about, there's like phones and we were like talking about like other side. Like I just feel like I'm going through kind of a shift right now, especially with like a toddler at home. I'm just like really thinking about like where I'm spending my time and like how I'm spending my time and like what I have time for. Like I'm just thinking of this concept a lot because it feels like I don't have enough for everything.
Right.
But there is enough time for like what you think is important. I think sometimes like you can like for me I'm able to if I like am able to like find a little bit more like presence and like kind of zoom out a little bit, I'm like, okay, it's not important to be on my phone for an hour at the end of the day.
Yeah, you gotta find the things that you actually need to prioritize.
Yeah. And like I think it can be like a great like chill zone out, like whatever. But just for me, it's just like it was taking away that hour of time from these other things that I like that are important to me. And like I feel like everyone can make like it, like I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to like say that this is like that it has helped me find my like find a little bit more spaciousness for sure.
Totally, yeah. I mean, everyone has like a different personal journey with that, but it seems like you've like learned what is working for you, and that's what counts.
Trying,
So also just like on top of music, you're teaching music and movement classes for young kids.
Yeah.
So how did you like get into wanting to do that for young people and like what are your classes? Like take us through like if we were little kids in your classes,
also in
what would we be
2018.
doing?
Sorry to cut you off, but
Good.
also in 2018, when I decided to like become like try to like be self-employed, I was like, okay, so like there's gigging and then like what do I do during the day? And it turns out like families just hang out during the day. Like like my family, like we're up at 6:30. By 11 a.m. we've lived an entire day.
Yeah.
And then we have like another one. And so I had the opportunity to start working with my dear friend Chris Dorman at Bread and Butter Farm here in Vermont, doing Music for Sprouts, which is his program of music and movement for young kids and their families. And so I got to kind of, apprentice under him and like work for him and start to lead classes. And I did that for 2 years, 2018 to 2020. And that was super awesome. Like he is so, so good at what he does. And like the Mr. Chris universe, like I'm so grateful I got to be like a part of that, like on Vermont Public and just like making music at the farm. And it was just so incredibly joyful. Like I feel like there's so much like being in like music, like being in like having like a music career can be like very stressful. Like, there is like a certain amount of like competition, you could say. Like I have sense like, I don't know, there's just like there can be like a lot of pressure, let's say. And kids music is like no pressure in a way that it is just like you're so present, it's so joyful. Kids are just like immediately giving you feedback like this isn't working for me. Or like like they are totally they are just themselves in like the sweetest way that like adult audiences, like we're all masking a little bit. Kids just like are not. And and so also just like so much experience with like improvisation. Like it's just so fun. It's improvisation, it's movement. My classes now are about 45 minutes. I teach here in the south end of Burlington, actually upstairs from where we are right now at the Marigold Gallery, which is a space run by another musician, Giovannina Bucci, who's an artist as well. And in weekday mornings for 45 minutes, we kind of just go through this like really sweet routine. So Music for Sprouts has ended, that Mr. Chris was, Mr. Chris led, but we use still a lot of that song and that routine in the work that I do. So it's just like, we warm up our bodies. We sing the hello song, we're rocking out. We have a big jam session. We have a visit from ABC Caterpillar. Like we just like do our thing, and can be really spontaneous and really sweet. And it's just like a really, what I hope to be as just like a really welcoming environment for kids and caregivers to just like be themselves, and for kids to like socialize and, to just like be a safe, welcoming space for like this morning, like we were all like, everyone was late and it was like, yeah, whatever. Like, this is how it is. Like, it's a very like, I just want to like create this world of understanding and just like acceptance too. And just like, there's like an inherent knowing, which is just like really beautiful and really comforting, I think, when you're like kind of in the thick of like caregiving and doing that with toddlers. So
Well, thanks for sharing that. That's like so cool to know, like
Yeah.
your journey there.
Yeah.
Do you involve your daughter in like the classes that you teach it, or like just like with music in general?
Yeah. Yep. Like I can tell a song is good if a song is good because she'll immediately be dancing. Like she's like a great gauge for that. But yeah, she does come to class with me.
Nice.
And yeah, we play a lot of music in the house. And my husband's a drummer. And we have a little
Full
family.
band.
Yeah, we have a little family studio. And so we
Love
make a
it.
lot of music together. And we've like gotten to the point where she'll be like, like I don't know. She like I get a lot of like it's very humbling. She'll be like, "Mama, no, I just want to hear them sing it." Like like there's like a lot of that. Or like I was like singing along to Dolly Parton. She was like, "Dolly wouldn't want you to sing along with her." I was like, "Dolly absolutely would listen. I'm gonna have to disagree with you."
Yeah. That's so
No,
funny.
yeah, but it's really fun, and kids are just like so musical and like so funny, and it's really
Yeah,
fun.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, we would love to hear your third song.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, take us through what you have next.
Yeah, I'll play this kind of newer song that is not on the record, if that's cool. It's called
Yeah.
Family Table. One of the things that I think about, like, just because we were just talking about my daughter Louisa, this song, and like we were just talking about songwriting, this song like really just like flowed in a way that it was just like it was like a pretty complete song, like pretty early on. And some songs you kind of have to like workshop. Like I would say that like Spice Rock found its groove like after like 2 years, you know what I mean? Or like a year and a half. But this one, Family Table, yeah, this is one of my newer songs. I've been cleaning up the mess on my family table. I'll take your plate whenever I am able. I've come to see that I am you and you are me. Time now to clear the clutter, stash away those bills to be paid, pile up the remnants of another great
Family Table, Emma Cook.
Mm.
Beautiful song. So tell us a little bit more about just like this album. So you've been working on it for several years. When are you thinking that it will be live, and like what are your plans for promoting it once it's out there in the world?
Yeah.
Take us through kind of like this last kind of couple steps of the process.
Yeah. Yeah. So after 3 studio sessions, those were like kind of spaced out, like December of 2023 through most recently February of this year. I was down in Nashville. Yeah, we did all of the tracking. So now it's literally it's with the sound engineer who's doing the mixing this week. So that's been, a huge effort to get it there. And we'll do the mixing and the mastering, if you're familiar with that process. I mean, I know you are, but you know,
some time.
our listeners, it'll take some time. But it will be done by the end of May. So we're in the final month here.
Wow,
And the plan is, album release to be determined, like when the party is, but right now it's late August, early September. And I'll be releasing singles all summer.
Nice.
So I'm really excited. There's some like really beautiful visuals that we're putting together right now. I'm working with some friends who are dancers to do some music videos, and I'm working with a local photographer on the cover shoot in 2 weeks. And so things are like really coming together, but again, main theme, ease. So I have absolutely like had a release date before I've had a record in hand, and that's like really stressful.
Totally,
And so the release date is gonna come when the record's in hand and it's like done. And that's how we're gonna do it this time. So kind of like the final push and in the like recording process, and now turning a ton of energy, like you're asking, like into the release, and making sure, that these songs get heard.
Totally.
Yeah.
Any spoilers as to which ones you might release first as singles?
That's a great
Or you
question.
can keep it a secret. You don't have to tell us.
I mean, let's see. I'll just like run it by you. I haven't decided. I think I might release the title track of The Morning, which I will not be playing here tonight because it is a song that I perform on the piano. Yeah. So you know the title, and that was not a secret. And probably 2 or 3 others. Maybe I'll play actually the last song I'll play, not at this moment, but whenever. I think that'll be the next another song that I release.
Yeah, I feel like it must be hard kind of knowing like which ones to choose to like release first and tease, and then because I feel like an album is like a whole experience with all of the songs. So to draw out some that are kind of
like standalone. Totally.
it's kind of hard. Awesome. Well, that's so exciting.
Thank you.
Very excited for you.
Thank you.
So we are coming here to like the end of the show,
Cool.
but we always like to give our guests the opportunity just to let us know how we can support you the best. So do you have any upcoming gigs, or how best can we listen to your music?
I think that right now it's just kind of like staying tuned in. I have a newsletter. So ecookmusic.com is like where I have my shows. I have my kids' music stuff on there. And I do send out a newsletter. That's like the best way to kind of like get all the info. Coming up, I'm doing a kids set at Waking Windows this Saturday at the Rotary stage. It's the last Waking Windows. So it's going to be an awesome event that I'm really excited to be a part of. Next Friday, May 9th, I'm playing at Hotel Vermont with my band Emma Lou and the Beat. Which is an acoustic trio that we've been playing together for like a decade around Vermont. And that's a super fun time, chill Friday night at Hotel Vermont. And then on like Wednesday, June 3rd, I'm going to be playing at the Vermont Womanpreneurs Summit happening at like Bolton Ponds, which is a really incredible community that I'm a part of. And I got to present at their first showcase back in 2018. And so it's just like really lovely to stay connected through like the co-founders, Mieko and Bethany, who are doing incredible work just to like support, women and non-binary folks and any folks who are just like working really hard on their small businesses, and that'll be a really great event. And yeah, I've got some other stuff coming up. Those are like the next 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a piano recital for my piano students.
Oh, nice.
You guys are not invited to that. That's a private event. It's a private event. What else? Kids music at the library tomorrow. I do free music first Thursdays. And I have an epic, actually, summer schedule with kids music. My criteria has been how close are creamies and swimming holes. So I'm going to be in Bristol. I'm going to be in Charlotte. I'm going to be out in Jericho. I have a really fun summer schedule doing kids music. Just basically berry patches, farmers markets. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're setting up the summer vibes perfectly.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we would love to hear your final song tonight. So
all right. Well, this one's called Forbidden Fruit. And take from it what you will. Ripe or rotten, mere hours when it's perfect to consume. Past forgotten, missed the window when you were chucking out the core. Well, what have you? Is that what you've been waiting for? Smiling, nodding, we can all agree on the beauty of a juicy peach in high season. Cage it in, keep it safe till the harvest day. Is that what you've been waiting for? Have you ever tasted forbidden fruit? Was the flavor unreal? Did it help you heal? And when you were tasting that sticky sweet, well, who did you mean when you got to the pit of it? Tablecloth of cotton, let it roll, it'll stain our memory. We'll watch fade, full bowl forgotten. Is it free? Does it cling? That stone just might be sinking, sinking. And is that why you've been waiting? Is that why you've been waiting? Is that why you've been waiting? Is that why you've been waiting?
Forbidden Fruit, Emma Cook. Well, Emma, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Abby. It was nice to be here. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, totally. And we'll have to have you back after the album's out.
Yeah, sounds great. I'll be back this fall.
Yeah.
We'll be touring the new stuff, and hopefully maybe I'll have a few folks with me next time.
Yeah, very fun. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And listeners, thanks for tuning in to Rocket Shop Radio Hour here at Big Heavy World. I'm your host, Abby BK, and we will see you not next week, but the following on May 14th with Sage Hatfield. So make sure to tune in then. But as for now, this has been the show. So we will see you next time. Have a great night.
Yeah. Cool.